to work for myself and pursue my passion, building successful seven-figure brands like 14 Series, and creating the kind of lifestyle that I once only dreamed about. Today, I'm going to teach you that exact process. Have you ever felt stuck, like you're just going through the motions day after day and nothing seems to ever change? I think we've all been there. I'm about to help you break out of that cycle because otherwise, 1 year will go by and you're going to be exactly where you are today. And the framework that we're using is very straightforward. I call it EVE: evaluate, visualize, and execute. Let's jump in. The very first thing you need to do is evaluate your current life. Take an honest look at your current situation. The idea is very simple. Before you can improve, you need to clearly see what's actually happening, what's going on in your life. And to do this, we're going to use the help from my recent favorite book, Five Types of Wealth by Sahil Bloom. And the 5 types of wealth are going to be time wealth, which is freedom and flexibility in your schedule; social wealth, which is relationships, connections, your network; mental wealth, which is knowledge, skills, mindset; physical wealth, which is your health, your fitness, your appearance; and financial wealth, which is money, savings, investments. So I want you to grab a notebook and write down these 5 categories. Then rate yourself from 1 to 10 in each area based on your current satisfaction. And be brutally honest here. This isn't the time for sugarcoating. If you don't have a clear picture of where you are right now, where you stand, you don't know where you're going. You don't know where you need to go. So when I first did this, I realized that my mental, physical, and financial wealth was strong. But because I work a lot, my time and social wealth needed major improvement. It was an eye-opener for me, and that's why I like this book so much. It helped me set crystal clear goals moving forward. Now, once you have your ratings, you're going to take a moment and you're going to think, which area bothers me the most, and which area, if improved, could completely transform my life. Because this leads us directly into step 2. And what this does is it gives you an honest look at your current situation. People underestimate the power of evaluating where you are in life with clear measurements. So these ratings that you just gave yourself, that's where you are in life. And that's just the truth. There's a quote you should remember for the rest of your life. You can't manage what you can't measure. How are you supposed to manage your finances if you're not measuring them? How are you supposed to manage your weight if you're not measuring it? It makes sense, right? You can't manage what you can't measure. So now that you have your measurements, your scores, it's time to move on to the next step: visualize. This is where you create a vision for your future self. The reason why most people never truly change their lives is simple. They don't have a clear enough picture of where they want to go. And if your vision isn't exciting, isn't something that you look forward to, then there's nothing pulling you forward towards that vision. So here's how we're going to do this. You need to set aside 20 to 30 minutes when you're not distracted. Put your phone on Do Not Disturb and focus. Today's world is full of distractions, right? So you need to minimize that for this specific exercise. Research shows that an average person actually spends over an hour a day on small distractions. A good hack to keep distractions away is to use the Opera Air desktop browser. You can see how different this browser is from the others. It's designed to bring calm and focus to your life. I mean, just think about what you can get done with an extra hour per day of no distractions, or 7 hours per week. It really adds up, and it makes a huge difference in your efficiency. Immediately, you can see that the browser design is made to be calming. It's made to be stress-free. They added features like the Boost feature, which gives you more than 20 soundscapes to choose from. I personally like lo-fi music, and I can play it right from the browser, so I don't waste any time looking for music that keeps me focused. Then every time you open the browser, you see a daily inspirational quote so that you can start your day with a positive mindset. And they have a break feature, so it reminds you to take breaks from work, so I can stay focused, right? Sometimes we forget that we can't really perform at the highest level 24/7. We need to take a moment to recharge so we can attack again. And you can choose your favorite type of break and recharging. Some people might like breathing, some people like meditation, others, like myself, might prefer the stretches. It's just a good reminder to take care of your body and your mind during the day, especially if you're like me and you're looking at your computer for most of the day. It has a simple, clutter-free interface which was made to reduce distractions and to provide a calm, focused, and stress-free online experience. Oh, by the way, Opera Air is absolutely free. You can download it right now from the link in the description. Now let's go back to that exercise. Imagine yourself 3 years from now and ask yourself questions like, where do you live? City, type of home, the neighborhood. How's your physical health? Are you strong? Are you fit? Are you playing any sports? What are you doing professionally? Are you fulfilled and excited about your career? Who are you spending your time with? What's your social life like? What hobbies and passions have you picked up? How are you spending your free time? And what does a typical perfect day look like for you? You know, when I did this exercise not too long ago, I envisioned myself in the best shape of my life. My brand Forte series tripled in revenue and in size. And we're helping millions of men improve their looks and confidence. My relationships were strong. I was hosting dinner with interesting goal, traveling the world with my wife and seeing my family way more often than I see them now. And with my wife and seeing my family way more often than I see them now. And having this crystal clear picture, it completely changed how I approach my daily decisions. For one, I can't see my family as often as I would like to unless I move out of New York City or move them here. So immediately I know something has to change in the next 3 years for me to actually achieve that vision. So it just gives you a lot to think about. If I don't visualize that, right, if I don't know that I want to spend more time with my family, I'm never really going to make that happen because it's a big move. So if you're more of a visual person, by the way, you can try making a vision board. You can go to Pinterest, Instagram, pull some images that represent your goals, put them together in your phone, your computer. Every time you look at this vision board, you should get pumped. You should be excited. This emotional connection is important because now you're staying motivated. Now you're staying consistent because you see the vision. You see the light at the end of the tunnel. You need to be excited about it. Otherwise, you're not really hungry for it. You don't really care. You don't even know what it looks like. You don't even know where you're going. How can you be excited about not knowing where you're going? It doesn't make sense. Right? Now that you have your vision, that's not enough. Let's get practical. The third step is choosing your one big quest for the next 60 days. Look, you probably have a bunch of goals, right? And trust me, that's natural. I have a ton of goals as well. But here's the thing. If you chase everything, you end up achieving nothing significant. So to truly transform your life in a meaningful way, you need laser-like focus. You're going to choose just 2 quests for the next 60 days. One for your personal life, let's say health, relationships, hobbies, self-care, and one for your professional life. That's your career, your finances, your business. And here's exactly how you're going to write down your quests. And trust me, this specific format is going to help you. My main quest for the next 60 days is to fill this out. Okay, the next one is this is incredibly important to me because in order to complete this quest, I commit that in the next 60 days I will accomplish, and then you put your specific measurable goals. This excites me because fill this out with an emotionally compelling reason, something that you're very excited about. And to ensure that I achieve this, I will, and then you put the action steps to maintain accountability. So let me show you a real example of how this looks if your personal goal was to strengthen your physical wealth, for example. My main personal quest is to reach my fitness goal of getting to 180 pounds with 14% body fat. And in order to complete this quest, I'll hit the gym 4 days a week, track my macros daily, and practice yoga once a week for flexibility. This excites me because hitting this goal will give me a massive sense of achievement, confidence, and physical energy. To make sure I stick to it, I'm going to post regular updates on my socials to keep myself accountable. And let's be real, it's going to be embarrassing if I don't follow through. You see how specific that is? You can't just lie to yourself about whether or not you accomplish this. This is clear. And the clearer you are, the easier it's going to be to actually do it. For your second quest, do the same thing, but this time you're going to choose a professional focused goal. Maybe it's about improving your finances, starting a new job, or even spending less money on alcohol. Whatever it is, make it clear, make it actionable, just like your personal quest. And I have a few prompts to help you pick your life quest. What's one thing that would dramatically improve your financial situation if achieved? What's one professional goal that you've always thought about but never fully pursued? If you had 1 hour each day dedicated to something you've always wanted to do, what would make the biggest impact? After you pick your 2 quests, you might be thinking, but what about all the other stuff that I want to achieve, right? Because we all have so many goals. Well, those can be your side quests. They're important, but they're not weird. Don't overload yourself. This is about prioritizing. Your side quests, I'm sure they're fun, I'm sure they're great, but your main quest needs all of your focus, all of your energy, and all of your attention right now. Going back to distractions, there are so many distractions nowadays, and you end up wasting time on side quests. And the reality is that to truly move the needle in the right direction, you just need to work on the most important quests first. Forget the rest. Focus on the things that make a big difference in your life. And here's one more key point to remember, maybe the most important point of this video. Changing your life isn't about doing it quickly. It's about doing it consistently. You're going to have days where you feel motivated, and then days where you don't feel like doing anything at all. That's completely normal. But if you keep coming back to these quests, if you stay clear on your vision, and you remind yourself why you're doing this, in just 60 days, you're going to see a totally different life ahead of you. So I challenge you right now, pause the video and write down your 2 main quests. Don't just watch and move on. If you're serious about transforming your life, take this step right now, and I guarantee it's going to be worth it. Drop a comment below and tell me what your requests are to make sure that you're committing to them for the next 60 days. And if you found this video helpful, make sure to give me a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button. Thank you, Opera, for sponsoring today's video, and I'll see you in the next one. If you just started following my content, you might look at my social media today and think that I come from money or that I've never struggled, but life wasn't always easy for me. My family moved to the United States when I was 13 years old. The five of us shared one bedroom in my uncle's two-bedroom apartment for a while before we were able to move into our own place. My dad was a dishwasher. My mom worked at the school cafeteria. And the fact that I got to where I am today, sometimes I can't even believe myself. Even in my 20s, I was barely getting by. I was working three jobs. In the morning, I would drive a six-wheeler truck, all right, to deliver landscaping materials to make rich people's yards look better. I was a server at the Outback Steakhouse at night. And a few nights a week, I was a bouncer at a local nightclub to make some extra cash. Now, all of that while taking classes to become an EMT, and at the time, I had just started posting videos on YouTube. I had rents to pay, student loans, bills to worry about, and I would look at my bank account and feel this constant frustration. Like, no matter how hard I worked, I mean, I had three jobs. I just couldn't get ahead. And let's be real. I know a lot of you watching this video have been there, or maybe you're there right now. You know, I realized something. It wasn't just about how much money I made, how many jobs I had. It was about the habits that I had with my money. And growing up in a household that didn't make a lot of money, I didn't learn good financial habits until much later in my life. I was stuck in a poor mindset, a low-income mentality that keeps so many people prisoners to their circumstances. Now, if you feel that you're constantly broke, even when you're working hard like I was, this video is going to break down the 8 habits that are keeping you stuck. And these habits, they cost me years of financial growth. If you pay attention, and if you make these adjustments, this can be the moment that changes everything for you, your entire life. So stick with me here. Let's start with the first habit that keeps so many people stuck. Never talking about money. See, when I was building my career,